if you haven't figured it out by now, allow me again to just for a few minutes, if you are going to listen to me, to intrude upon your conscience just for a little bit. We have a system that is built upon what they call, listen to me very closely, free market capitalism. But let me tell you the truth of this system, okay? Free market capitalism is nothing more than competition and greed. While the corporations say that they love competition, and the reason being is because if you put it in the analogy of you've got this big old bully, let's say the size of Shaquille O'Neal, all right? And then you have this little bitty guy. I mean, this little bitty small guy like a midget, okay? They're going to promote how wonderful it is to be a giant in this world and in this industry. And they're going to do everything they can to continue to keep crushing the midget. You know why? Because they're big enough and they're powerful enough to do it. Only one thing about free market capitalism. They say that they love competition, but in truth and in fact and in nature, they hate it. They love competition as long as they can dominate, manipulate, control, whip, and overcome what they call the competition. You know, it's really no competition at all. Let's just look at Walmart, okay? You notice that there are Walmart in cities now, but you know, Walmart made the majority of all their billions and trillions of dollars off of small towns. They strategically, centrally located Walmarts in small towns for other people to go to. And this is how they do business. They can afford to go to the vendors. They can afford to go to the people who actually provide the product and give them so much money for their product that they're basically buying it for pennies and cents on the dollar. But the independent mom and pop store can't do that. So what happens? Well, everybody in America, human nature, is going to do what they can to cut and save and pinch a penny or a dollar. So they go over here and see a box of cereal at Walmart for $2.59, $3.59. They go to the mom and pop store. They see it at $4.59. Sometimes they may get it for $4. And even though they love doing business, because, you know, to do business with honesty and a smile is always the best way to do things. And you can't get the service at Walmart the way that you did at mom and pop stores. Yet and still, because the people can save money. Eventually, the mom and pop store who cannot buy the same product that Walmart buys and put it on their shelf at the same price, ultimately the people will lose heart and lose integrity simply because of the dollar, and they're going to go to the place where they can actually get the same product at a cheaper price. And this is how Walmart has dominated the retail scene here in this country, as well as other major corporations. Now, the United States of America, whether you like it or not, it's a corporation. And it doesn't like competition. And when it doesn't like competition, what it does is threaten people with nuclear holocaust. And of course, that flies on the radar. And when that doesn't happen, what they do is they put sanctions on other sovereign countries who are trying their best to make it in this world of trade through what you call, quote unquote, free market capitalism. Henceforth, North Korea is fighting back. The only way they know how to fight back is by whooping the United States rear end. And since the United States lives by the bomb, and that's just inevitable that our country, we're going to be nuked and we're going to die by the bomb because we have lived by it. It's just a spiritual principle. It makes no difference whether you like it, understand it or not. It is coming. So the United States of America goes around bullying everybody and threatening them with war. You know, the midget. And the midget has had enough. And the midget is sick and tired of being bullied. And so they're going to fight back the only way they know how to fight back. And so North Korea is sick and tired of the sanctions just like many other of these countries. And America, through their global domination, is trying their best to hang on by a thread their control of the world, which is quickly slipping out of the grasp of their hands. The common people, you and I, we don't know these things, but these people up here that are constantly on the world scene, they know this stuff. So the truth is, capitalism is nothing but a cancer. You know the reason why? Because with the amount of resources that we have available in America and the amount of resources that we have available all across the world, let me tell you the truth. The truth is, we have enough resources in this world so that everybody, every single person can have, listen to this, can have a small, medium home. Everybody, including the poor. But because of greed and because of propaganda, because they do have the outlets to shape and to control your minds. That's why they send you to these public institutions called school. They call it school. Yeah, they're schooling all right. They're schooling you how to function in their system. And with somebody like myself that comes with a dissenting viewpoint or opinion other than what the system penetrates into your mind and conscience, you're already wired to war against anybody that says, here, look over here. There, the grass is really greener on the other side of the pasture. And you know, you find out that people, they don't like that kind of talk, because ultimately, if you got to get out there and get your hands to do something, your flesh is going to kick against that, especially if you're fat, sassy, and lazy. You're going to despise and spurn people like me who actually exercise what I call free market capitalism. You see them things right there? Those are the hands of a real, true pastor. You see them? Those are the hands of a real, true pastor. They got calluses on them. They labor and they work very hard. So, the truth is, free market capitalism, or capitalism, is a cancer. It's a disease, and the name of the disease is called greed. That's the reason why we have starvation. That's the reason why we have nations fighting against other nations, because when you are the top one in the world and you are taking advantage of everybody else in the world and they have no spirituality at all about them whatsoever, what ultimately is going to happen is these people are going to descend to the lower nature. And that means they're going to fight to preserve whatever they have. And it's going to bring out the worst in everybody. That's why I hold our country responsible for all the wickedness that is going on in this world. Because we're in a position to be benevolent. We're in a position to do people right. Now, world, if we can't do our own people right in our own backyard, then how are we going to do you right? And America, the truth is, I can tell you right now, the opinion of the American people who are tired of fighting for the nobles, if I can use that word and be pure. We don't want another Korean War in Vietnam. You know why? Because we have never, ever, ever won a war since so-called World War II. Gerald Celente brought it out best when he says, where are the victory parades? Why come we never see victory parades on the streets of America when we return from a victory of war? Where are they at? Why come we don't have any? Why come we don't have any? I'll tell you the reason why. Because we haven't gotten any victory. But I'll tell you what we have done. The commoner people. We have been duped and deceived through mainstream news media, I call propaganda. And through that deception, they have used our sons and our daughters. And they have manipulated our conscience and our mind. And they have caused us to go out and to die in their foreign wars. And they use the hook in the jaw of education, because that's what they promote, you know, education that they educate you by in order to function in their system, in order for you to provide you a plus life. And see, that's the hook in the jaw. Because if you don't bow down and do things the way that the system says, you can't have what you call a comfortable life for your flesh. To hell with the integrity of the heart and spirit and truthfulness of a man or a woman that has courage. We throw away all those virtues and all those wonderful attributes and values for the sake of being able to have a plush life at the expense of other people. And so this greed and this greedy spirit perpetuates, and it goes out like frogs all throughout the earth. And since people are not close to the Most High, they're ultimately going to revert back to the animalistic nature of the human spirit. And it's going to actually preserve, try its best to, and defend itself, try its best to, as best as it can, from the attack of the person who is attacking it. I tell you what, we got some serious problems. And capitalism is a cancer, it's a disease, and it's all from the spirit of greed. I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. You can tell the real true nature of this country and its leaders by how it treats its poor. Oh, Pastor Dow, they have EBT cards, they have food stamps and stuff. Really? They provide you your EBT cards and food stamps to keep you and appease you from rioting and rising up and raging against the machine. Well, I think the problem is that when you have people like myself that have the ability to think outside of the box, because I want to be honest with you, brutally honest with you, and that you know there used to be a time when I used to be grossly deceived. I thank y'all that for the day that his spirit entered into me where I can actually exercise the power of his spirit by exercising the art of independent thinking. No matter what, you need to develop relationships. I commonly call them mutual assistance group. And if you can determine that you want to allow someone into your group, they first have to demonstrate trustworthiness. They have to be able to be trustworthy. They have to be able to support the cause of the group. And they have to be faithful. They have to have a lot of fidelity in the work, and they must not be a sluggard or a lazy man or woman. You know, see, here in America, we deceive people all the time. We tell people we're going to do this, we're going to do this, or I'll be there and I'll do this, and we never follow through with it. And when we never follow through, we never come back and apologize. We never say, I'm sorry, because we have developed such a sorry spirit and a sorry nature that we'll turn around and do the same thing again. But we want to teach everybody the way that they should be. And the reason why we do that, because we want everybody comfortable in our world to make our world better, our world personally. And in order to do that, everybody else has to get better, and I can continue to stay the same way that I am. That is deception in its purest form. So capitalism is not working. You can tell our country by how it treats its poor. There's going to be a global reset whether you like it or not. I hope you have the ears to hear and the heart to believe and the mind to understand exactly what I just got finished saying to you. And that's the truth. And that is the truth straightway.